Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, links, rumours, noise, murmurings, incomings, outgoings, you name it. You'll find it here on Transfer Hub and Up the Villa. If you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing, smash that like button and comment your thoughts on everything that I discuss on this episode. We've got quite a lot to run through, and we're going to start off with Lucas Paqueta then. Let's get straight into it then. So The Athletic and Jacob Tanswell are reporting Aston Villa have expressed an interest in signing West Ham midfielder Lucas Paqueta before transfer deadline. Arranging a financial package, however, is very tough to do, with Villa working to comply with UEFA restrictions, and the likely fee West Ham will demand is prohibitive. Unai Emery is a big admirer of the 28-year-old. Along with the club's recruitment staff, Villa have explored terms of a deal, but unless a solution can be found, an agreement is unlikely. We've also got more news from Paqueta, who is saying, and this is coming from Mario Cortangana, Lucas Paqueta does not want to play versus Nottingham Forest on Sunday, given the uncertainty over his future. And that is the situation that we're at with that. Now, West Ham are also in discussions for Fabio Vieira from Arsenal. So merge everything together, and it does look like West Ham are looking for a midfielder. Could this be Paqueta's replacement? So they've entered the race, and this is the player that West Ham are looking at. Now, we merge all of that together. What have we got? Where are we? Paqueta for Villa would have to be a loan to start with, because we know this window that, and we've heard from various sources before today, that what are they looking for, over 40 plus for Paqueta? So Villa cannot pay that this window. So a loan with an obligation would be something that I imagine Villa are trying to do. The loan obligation means we buy him next summer. But for me, I just don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. I think I just don't get. Do I get why we'd go after Paqueta? Yes. Why would we go after him? Well, we've got a position on the left that we are looking to occupy with a player. Ramsey's gone. We've got no out-and-out player that suits that position. We've scrambled around McGinn, Rodgers, Ramsey for a number of years now, and nobody's locked in that position. So Paqueta, that is his position. If we go to heat maps and have a look at where Paqueta operates, a lot of the time, it is in that position where has now been vacated with Jacob Ramsey leaving. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. We can see that there's heavy work on the right, but you can see venturing into the box. When we spoke about Paqueta before, we spoke about the progressive passes, carries into the 18-yard box, touches in the attacking penalty area. Very good. But the age profile of Paqueta, 28 years of age, is something that next summer will be 29. You're going to pay 45 million with an obligation. I just don't know. I mean, if somehow we could get a loan with an option, so we take the option and we have a try before you buy even more so, then maybe, I look at Paqueta and I think, do I believe Emery could unlock Paqueta and get more out of him? I think he's gone stale at West Ham. Do I think we could get a good season out of Paqueta? Yes. I believe that it could be a really good signing for us. Premier League experience, ready-made, slots in, improves, and he's a good player. He's a good player. But the fee, it puts me off. It really puts me off. I just think there's surely better value, and this is what I keep flip-flopping myself with. And I'm not just talking about this window, I'm talking about next window. And I'm just looking at Villa's situation. And is it a case of Villa just going and Emery and Monchi going, we need ready-made right now. We need those names. And you look at the names that we've had, our last couple of signings, they are the last couple because we've hardly made any this window. Asensio, Rashford, linked with Paqueta. They're all names that can just drop in, slot in, play, and you'll probably get something out of them. But that's still expensive. And I look at the way in which we're having to work. We're getting wages down and not much of a fee. And I just keep thinking, surely there's better value out there. And I'm talking, when I say better value, I'm talking about not signing, Redmond and Garcias and Nedeljkovic's. I'm talking about go and source a player that is doing okay, and you can see that quality that's going to come. And I keep looking at someone like, as an example, like a Semenyo. Go and find and scout a Semenyo. Bring him in for that type of money. I think, what did they sign it? I'm sure it was for around, let me just double check before I put the number out there. But I'm going to say it's around 8. Did they sign him for about 8? Let's have a look. We'll have a look at what they're signed him for. So, yeah, it was 8. So, Semenyo was at Bristol City and they signed him Bournemouth for 8.9 million. And now he's worth over 55. That surely has got to be and should have been probably the type of deal we were looking for. But again, am I contradicting myself in saying Emery wouldn't have played them? Are we in that situation of it's okay having someone like Semenyo, that ilk of £8 million player, but would he be trusted to play? Whereas I look at, say, Paqueta, Asensio, they're trusted to play by Emery. So that's just where I'm at. I just feel a bit confused by the whole thing of we're monitoring wages and fee, and we now linked with Paqueta. He's just really expensive. We've been linked with Jackson. It's just really expensive. So, yeah, I'm just a bit confused by it. If it was a straight loan, I'm all right. Straight loan. Okay, let's see what he's about. Brilliant. But why are West Ham going to do that? £5 million loan fee. What's the point? But then maybe the player just doesn't want to play. But so I'm just a bit confused. Like, if someone in the comment section can talk to me about probably why they think this deal would make sense, that probably is the vibe that I'm going down with, what I would like to probably understand and know, really. So we've got that element to it. And then we've also got the element that he doesn't want to play now for West Ham at the weekend. And there's this trend in football now with Isak. And, if a deal's close, he doesn't play. But if there's nothing in none of these rumours, I'm not sure why he's refusing to play. So, we've got Santi, a owner who broke this story this morning, and then everybody else has kind of ran with it. So he broke it this morning with this tweet. So he said there's a lot of chance that Paqueta will not travel. And he said that this morning, to be honest. Villa have opened talks with West Ham. So it's one to keep an eye on, but I'm very confused by it. Could it be agents? Could it be Villa looking like they're going after Paqueta because we've still not got Asensio and they want 15 million. Again, there's a lot of qualities for Asensio. There's a lot of things that I like. There's an element of what he can improve for this Villa team. It's still a lot of money, but again, like, he's guaranteed to play for Emery, and there's that trust element, so that kind of makes sense, I guess. So we've also got other news of goalkeeper situation. So Mike McGrath is reporting that Emi Martinez may come into the equation if there is change at Al Nassr. I can't see that now. I mean, if they do come in and bid, maybe, but right now, not sure. Their keeper situation looks like it's changing. Mike McGrath then talking about Sene Lamenzi's emerging as a goalkeeper option for Aston Villa if they go into the market. Good goalkeeper, young goalkeeper, that's okay. And then today we have got here now, Huddersfield Town are set to sign Aston Villa attacker Zepaquino Redmond on season-long loan. Redmond made 2 appearances in the Champions League last season, and I think we can file that one under sign for a free, flip for a fee. That's what's happening there. That's what's happening there. I think we were opportunistic. We noticed the contract running down, signed him, bring his value up, and then he will be another one. I'd be very surprised if he was. I mean, he's 19, so if he absolutely tears it up, brilliant. But he's gone to Huddersfield in League One, so that's another one there to sort of keep an eye on. And then we've got more news here from Philip Hines saying Leipzig would be willing to let Openda go under realistic conditions, including a loan with an obligation to buy. Openda is one to watch on the transfer market. Premier League clubs are ready to enter the race. Leipzig want more than 40 million. Now, that I could probably see a little bit more than anything. If Villa went for something like that, I could probably understand it. Striker, he's young, he's scored goals, he's exciting, and that kind of would look to me to make a little bit more sense. Let's have a look at, I'm sure Openda is about 25. So let's have a look how old he is. And we've been linked with these players before. I've looked at all these numbers are just sticking in my head. He's 25. So Openda's 25. Obligation would make a bit more sense to me. We can see that there's some scores there as well. Wolves 1-1, Bournemouth 1-0. We got Man United winning 1-0. João Pedro from a fantasy football team as well, guys. Up the João Pedro. Right, so I think that's pretty much everything. I think all the Villa news really, but I'd just love to know your thoughts on Paqueta and what you think's happening there. So it's one to keep an eye on, but I think I'm not really really getting my hopes up until there's any more concrete news in any of this, really. So there we go. Paqueta, Villa fans, let me know your thoughts. If you agree, disagree, let me know. Up the Villa.